Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video, I have a Modelones acrylic haul to share with you guys. I was very kindly sent 2 acrylic kits and a couple of the Modelones individual colours from Modelones. They did also send me their monomer, which I will be using with the colours today. So I thought I would run through, show you all of the colours and then do a set on my own nails. Now inside the kits you do get a handy instruction leaflet, which is fab if you are a beginner. Now the first kit we have here is their new Romantics collection, and all of these colours are glittery. Some of them have mylar flakes in them. They are just basically really pretty. So I thought I would show you guys all of the colours in their pots and then we can swatch them, and then I'm going to also be using them in a set of nails. So that first one we have there has some very chunky mylar pieces in there. It's also got some green and pink flecks, which is really pretty. Then we have this coral orange one. Again, it's got those chunkier mylar flakes in there, which I absolutely love. They were my favorites out of this collection. This one has a more of a peachy nude base with just some chunky glitter pieces. And then this gorgeous one has a fine glitter purple and then some silver chunky pieces in there. And all of these glitters are pre-mixed with acrylic. So these are pre-mixed glitter acrylics, which mean they are really easy to apply. This particular one has a clear base with a fine glitter sparkle, no chunky pieces. And then here, this one has a pink, it's kind of like a jelly pink base, and then it has the beautiful pink and purple iridescent glitter pieces. And then this one was my favorite out of all of them. It's a beautiful blue glitter acrylic, and then it's got those chunky mylar pieces in there. And then the last one we have is a green, which is a green based acrylic with some silver and gold glitter pieces. So I've lined up all of these colours and I thought I would just swatch them on a paper towel so you can see them a little bit better. So this one is the most chunky. This has quite large mylar pieces in there. And then it's also got that pink glitter base to the acrylic, so it's a really lovely mix. And then this one's a very similar but in the orange, but I did find the mylar pieces in this one to be a little bit finer, which can make it a little bit easier to use. Then we have this gorgeous rose pink one. Again, it's got the coloured acrylic base with those glitter pieces in there. Then we have the beautiful blue, and just look at the iridescent sparkle to the flakes that are in this one. Like I said, this one was my favorite. I'm going to be using, I think, all 4 of these. The first 5 I believe I use in my nails today. So this one is more of a peachy nude base with a finer glitter mix in there. I will show you the paper towel close up once we have gone through and swatched them all. This one was the one where it's just a clear acrylic with a very fine gold glitter running through it. And then I really loved this green as well. I don't usually go for green when it comes to nails, but I really did like this one. I think because the glitter really complemented it. And then this purple is definitely going to be one that I'm going to enjoy in the autumn or winter months. So just look how gorgeous those colours are. I do especially love the ones with the mylar flakes in there. Let's move on and take a look at the second collection. So I believe this one is called Love You Like a Love Song, but I will double check and leave it all in the description box below. I did find this kit would be more of a beginner friendly kit. So if you were just starting out in nails and wanted some base colours, because this kit included a clear and a white as well. So you've got that really nice pink, then you have a peach. A lot of the colours in here are your nudes. So like I said, if you were just starting out in nails, this would be a fab kit to pick up because this has a nude acrylic that's going to suit every single skin tone in there. You've got some light peaches and pinks, and then you've got some beiges and some taupes. It's just a really great starter kit. That colour there, I believe, was the white. So here you can see you've got quite a nice sandy nude, which suits a lot of darker skin tones, I find. This one was more on the brown side. I loved this colour though. When it comes to swatching it, it's got a bit of a lilac purple tone to it. And then here we have their clear acrylic, which is fab to have a clear in your collection for each brand that you use. So first up there is the white. This is just a classic white, very, very bright white acrylic. Very highly pigmented, so it'd be great for things like your French or your baby boomers. Then we have your clear. Now I was blown away by their clear. I haven't used the Modelones clear before, and I was really impressed with how this one worked. Then we have a gorgeous pink. This would be great if you wanted to do a pink and white set of nails, or again a baby boomer set. And then we have the peach. Now pink and peaches are what I mainly reach for when I'm doing a core or nude set of nails. So I was really great that they gave you a wide selection of nudes that did also include a pink and a peach. This one's a little bit more on the beige side, but again would be a great colour for doing a French or a baby boomer. Then we have this gorgeous sandy colour. I'm not sure if I would get much use out of this one, to be honest, but these last two shades on the end I would definitely reach for a lot in the more autumn months, when we start going into those browns and chocolate colours. They're just really rich and beautiful. And they all had a lovely creamy consistency, so I did find them fairly easy to use. One or two colours did feel a little bit chalky, but once you had capped them in your clear, they was fine. So let's move on to the larger pots. So these, as you can see, they're just labelled with a number. So I will see if I can find links for all of them, but I believe if you just typed the number in on the Modelones website, you would find that acrylic. So we have a gorgeous gold. It looks as though it's a gold acrylic with a gold glitter running through it. And then this one is a larger version of one of the smaller pots that is in that first collection that I shared with you. So it's the same glitter basically. It's a clear base with a gold glitter running through it. Then we have a gorgeous bubblegum pink colour. And then we have a black. This black was super pigmented. I'm yet to use it in a set of nails, so I'll let you know how I get on with it, because I know blacks can be a little bit tricky to work with. And then we have a gorgeous chunky silver glitter mix. So again, I'm just going to run through and swatch these on a paper towel just so you guys can see them a bit close up. I loved this gold glitter. This one, I wouldn't really necessarily use this much at the current time because it's sort of summer here in the UK. So it's a bit more of a Christmassy colour for me. But these two glitters, I thought they would work really well together in a set of nails. It's a little hard to see it there because it is just a clear base glitter with the gold running through it. I loved this pink. This is definitely one that I'm going to try and use in the next set of nails I do, because it's a very fun, bright pink. I absolutely loved this silver as well. It was just jam-packed with glitter. And then lastly, we have the black. I saved the black till last because I didn't want it to contaminate my monomer, because it looked very highly pigmented. And as you can see here, there's a lot of pigmentation there. So that's those 5 colours swatched. I then picked out 5 of the glitter ones from the first collection, and then I also went for a peach colour to do my own nails with. So off camera I did do all of my nail prep, apply my tips and a thin clear acrylic base so that we could jump straight on to the design. First up, I'm going to come in with the peach, which was from the second collection that I showed you. Now, I'm going to be doing a very simple set of nails. I really just wanted to try out the acrylics a little bit more and just see how all of the colours worked that they sent me. So I'm going to do glitter fades on all of the nails using each one of the 5 glitters that I've chose. But like I said, we're coming in with that peach acrylic first of all. So the ratio was a little bit off when I started. I was working with the acrylic a little bit too dry, and I think that's why I found it a little bit chalky. Another thing that I want to point out is that I was doing this acrylic set when we're in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK. So acrylic and hot weather can be a little bit of a tricky mix. So this wasn't my best set application wise, and I think that was down to the hot weather. But I'm definitely going to play around and do a few more videos with these acrylics so you can see what they're like to work with. I did find them really lovely to work with. I mainly felt as though I was struggling because it was so hot. But I'm basically coming in and I'm applying this colour to the cuticle and nail bed area of my nail, and then I'm just fading it down towards the tip. I don't need to cover the entire nail because we're going to be adding our glitter at the tip of the nail. So you'll see here I pick up a small to medium sized bead of acrylic, placing it down just away from that cuticle area. Then I'm tapping it up into place and pulling it down the nail, trying to keep the bulk of it on that nail bed area so that we keep the coverage there. Now I did find this colour, it was very highly pigmented and quite opaque, but it went a little bit patchy when I was working with the first bead of acrylic. I think I just was working with it a little bit too dry, like I said. So as I pulled it down, it didn't move as well as what it could have. So that's why I just come in with a second bead just to neaten that all up a little bit. Here I'm just trying to get that acrylic as close to the cuticle as I can without touching any of the skin. You don't want to get any of the products on your skin or your cuticles, otherwise you're going to cause a lifting. So you'll see here again, when I'm placing that bead of acrylic down, I'm tilting my finger downwards so that none of that acrylic runs back and floods the cuticle. It kind of helps if you let gravity do its job. By holding your finger downwards, the acrylic is naturally going to flow down the nail rather than back up into that cuticle area. Just using the very tip of my brush to get a nice neat cuticle line, and like I said, I'm just doing my best to get this acrylic on without it being too messy, but I was really struggling in the heat. Just coming in with another bead of acrylic because I have worked with quite small size beads of acrylic, so it does mean I can build the colour up a little bit without ending up with a too bulky nail. I'm not building up any of my apex or any of my structure with this colour though. Because I'm going to be using glitter, I decided I would keep everything nice and thin and fully encapsulate with the clear. So when it comes to encapsulating, that's when I'm going to build up all of my strength and structure. It's really tricky. I have a tiny nail bed on my little finger, so I always struggle with my little finger, and it is a little bit tricky when you are recording, doing your own nails as well. I haven't done an acrylic set for a video in a very long time, so I did struggle with this a little bit as well, but I really fancied a nice set of acrylic nails on myself, so that's why I thought I would do a set on myself today rather than my Glamour Liz hand. Onto the thumbnail, I've zoomed the camera in a little bit just so you can see the application a little bit more close up, and you can see that the product was really easy to work with. I placed that bead down, I'm using the very tip of my brush to tap it up into place, and I'm not having to worry about the acrylic running. I personally really struggle with acrylics that are quite runny. I like a more drier consistency acrylic because then I feel like I have a lot more control over the product. So I did really love the fact that when I placed my bead of acrylic down, it didn't run or move around. It stayed where I put it until I started pressing and patting it into place. Just blending that down towards the tip of the nail. I wanted to still blend it out even though I didn't need any acrylic down at the tip of the nail, because then you're not going to have a huge ridge for your acrylics to go over, sorry, your glitters to go over. Then we are moving on to those gorgeous glitters. So I've come in with the darker pink shade to begin with, and as you can see there's lots of chunky mylar pieces in this. So because it's quite a chunky mix, I'm working with small beads of acrylic just so I have more control over the product. I am working with quite a bit of monomer in my brush as well. That way I'm able to move those glitter and chunky mylar pieces around without it being too tricky. And then I'm very carefully fading this back to create the glitter fade. Now I'm working on quite pinched C-curve tips, as you can see. So I'm also focusing that glitter around the sidewalls of the nail just to make sure everything's fully covered. Using lots of nice light touches with my brush because you don't want to pull the glitter around too much. You want to leave a lot of it down where you've placed it. Now we're going to move on to the coral one. I did think the pink and the coral worked absolutely beautiful together. So the rest of the colours were a little bit more easier to work with compared to that first one, because if they did have mylar flakes in them, they wasn't as chunky as that first pink one. This one has just smaller mylar pieces, so it meant it was just that little bit easier to work with, but obviously then it is going to give off a slightly different effect. The larger the mylar pieces, the different sort of way they catch the light and reflect, if that makes sense. Again, I'm making sure to blend that back to create our glitter fade, and you can see I'm always patting and pressing over the acrylic just to make sure all of that acrylic is lying nice and flat and there's none of the chunkier pieces sticking up, because that is going to affect us when it comes to encapsulating. Moving on to the blue, like I said twice I think already, the blue was my absolute favourite acrylic out of all of the ones Modelones sent me. It's got a really soft transparent blue base, but then it's absolutely full of iridescent and gold mylar pieces. It just was absolutely beautiful, and this is definitely one that I'm going to use soon again, especially if I do my own nails, because I love anything like this. I think this particular one would look beautiful in the winter with some blue acrylics as well. This colour here was really pretty as well. I didn't find that this had any mylar pieces in it. It just had more medium cut glitter pieces, and again, because it's got that peachy base to it, like the blue, it's slightly transparent. It gives off a really beautiful color shift, and these transparent bases make things like glitter fades really easy to do as well, because you don't have to put any effort into creating a fade. The product does it all for you. Whenever I'm working with glitter, I do personally like to work in quite small beads. So even though I'm working on a small part of the nail, I still like to come in with several beads, just because I feel I have more control over the product that way. Onto the thumb, we're using this rosy pink colour. Again, this one doesn't have any mylar flakes in it. It's just a acrylic and glitter mix. I really loved the colours of this one though. Like the blue and the peach and the coral, I believe, it's like a transparent base that a lot of these coloured acrylics have. So they don't offer lots of coverage colour wise, but the glitter really makes up for that, and it really helps give off that iridescent colour shift to them. This one is absolutely beautiful, and as you can see, it's really jam-packed with glitter, so you get a nice full-on glittery coverage. Here I'm just fading that glitter back. Now this is what the nails looked like once we had got all of our coloured acrylic and glitter application finished. Just look how gorgeous the colours are, and I love how well all of these colours worked together as well. So I'm now going to come in with the clear acrylic and encapsulate. So as you see, I just run my brush over the nail there because I find this helps the clear acrylic flow. Then I've picked up quite a large bead of acrylic, placed that down at the cuticle and apex area, and I've left the bulk of it in that back third to create my apex, and then I'm just blending the rest of it down. I had picked up quite a large bead of acrylic, so that covered the entire nail. I don't personally like to build up too much thickness. I just want the thickness to be in that apex area. So then I'm going to do the same on this nail, but I didn't feel as though I fully covered the tip on this nail. So I did exactly the same as before, but because I felt as though some of that glitter wasn't fully capped, I come in with another small bead of acrylic just to make sure that I'm fully encapsulating all of the glitter pieces. Now you need to make sure that all of that glitter is encapsulated, otherwise you are going to file into it when it comes to filing. So off camera, I capped the remaining 3 nails, and this is what they look like once they have all been encapsulated. As you can see, when you've encapsulated, your glitter does look a little bit matte, but that's fine. When it comes to top coating, you bring back all the shiny goodness. So I'm now going to come in and file the nails. I'm using one of my Modelones files here that I got in a previous kit. So I'm just coming over the surface of the nail here. I did start off by neatening up the side walls, but I like to kind of switch between focusing on the side walls and the surface of the nail, just because I find this easier to go backwards and forwards until I'm happy with the overall shape of the nail. Then once I'm happy with the surface of the nail, I'll come in again and reshape the nail just until I'm happy with it. I've applied the acrylic in a fairly good application, so there wasn't too much thickness or lumps or bumps in the acrylic, so I didn't have loads of filing to do, but all I'm basically doing is switching from going up the side wall, around the cuticle area and down the other side wall. Then I come over the surface of the nail, and then I'm obviously shaping the nail a little bit. I had done a lot of my shaping when I'd done my clear base, and because I'd kept my acrylic application as neat as possible, I've kept a lot of the shape throughout the set, so I'm mainly just refining and contouring that nail. I've done the exact same to the rest of the nails, and this is what they look like. I absolutely love a dusty shot of acrylic, so I thought I would show you guys that. I then went off camera and made sure to give the nails a good clean and scrub to remove all of the dust. And then I'm going to come in with the Modelones top coat and top coat all of these nails. And this is where you'll see how all of the sparkle comes back to the glitters and how beautiful they look. So this is a gel top coat. Again, with any products that you're using on your nails, you need to make sure you're keeping it off the skin and the cuticles. So I'm just pressing my brush down just before the cuticle and then nudging it up towards the cuticle, then letting the brush fan out, and then I'm just coating the entire nail in a nice even coat of the top coat. Then, like I said, it is a gel top coat, so it does need to be cured. So I'm going to pop that in my LED lamp to cure for 60 seconds. Now, I did only use a handful of the acrylics that Modelones sent me in this video, so do hang around on my channel, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be uploading more videos ASAP using the acrylics so that you can see a few more of them in action. I was really impressed with the ones I have tried so far, so if you're looking for a reasonable priced acrylic collection, I would definitely check them out. So this is what the nails looked like once they had all been cured. As you can see though, my cuticles are looking a little bit dry. They've had a little bit of a battering when it comes to doing my prep. So I'm now going to come in and use the Modelones cuticle oil just to nourish and replenish them. So I didn't basically twist it enough. So here I wasn't getting much cuticle oil coming out. So I give it a few more twists and then a lot more come out. So I applied that to my cuticles. I'm then going to give it a good massage just to make sure that it's all rubbed in. And then if you're going to be taking pictures, it's ideal to wipe over the acrylics with a little bit of alcohol just to remove that oily shine from them before taking your pictures. But this is what they looked like once I'd finished massaging in all of the oil. And just look at those gorgeous sparkles. I especially liked the first 3 nails because of those mylar flakes in the glitter acrylics. But I was really pleased with how this set turned out. I thought they looked super pretty. So if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment below. And hopefully I shall see you all again in the next one. Lots of love. Bye bye.